After 9 years, Disney fans can finally rejoice in returning to Zootopia as the studio finally releases Zootopia 2. And while your mileage may vary with the films in Disney's current era of animated films, a catalog that's seen both success and failure in varying degrees, Zootopia 2 is further proof that Disney is still able to do the impossible and catch lightning in a bottle a second time. When it comes to sequels, Disney has slowly perfected the formula, going from direct-to-video disappointments in the 90s to sequels that make far more at the box office than the first movie, Moana 2 and Frozen 2, just to name a few examples. And while sometimes these sequels don't quite live up to the charisma and enchanting nature of the first film, it's a pleasure to see that Zootopia 2 is not a part of that legacy. Expanding the world beyond the confines of the first film, Zootopia 2 takes a maximalist approach, giving us a whole host of new characters, a larger world, and a deeper story that builds on the same themes of the first Zootopia.
Zootopia 2 doubles down on the themes of the first movie.
When the first Zootopia movie came out, one of its overarching themes was overcoming discrimination and stereotypes. The original wasn't subtle about it, as it separated the world into predator and prey, pitting the world against predators when they begin to become violent. While it is far from a perfect allegory, Zootopia 2 picks up where the first movie left off and adds the nuance it needed. The sequel follows up with Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde after their successful case from the first movie. Nick and Judy are now partners on the force, but their opposing personalities often get in the way of their police work. As tensions arise between the two, a new case presents itself when Judy finds evidence of a snake in Zootopia. Reptiles in general have been outcasts in Zootopia, segregated to their own small part of the city, and no one has seen a snake around in a long time. That is, until Gary the Snake turns up to steal a historic journal that details the way the weather walls of Zootopia were made. Breaking off from the predator-prey stereotypes already gives the story a major step up from the first film, and while the first film hinged around us suspending the disbelief that a lion doesn't actually eat prey creatures like gazelle or zebras, Zootopia 2's main conflict centers around a different kind of discrimination that relies not on the inherent nature of animals, but universal themes. As the story unfolds and we learn the secret to what truly happened with the weather walls, themes of greed, discrimination, and othering present themselves far more organically. Of course, since this is a movie generally made for children, it's still about as subtle as a freight train, but it's an improvement nonetheless.
Zootopia 2 introduces a new lovable hero and a whole new zoo of characters. Speaking of Gary, his introduction is part of the expansion of the world of Zootopia. As Judy and Nick try to track down Gary, they arrive at the Marsh Market, and we meet a whole new host of reptile characters, including a plumed basilisk named Jesus. It's a testament to the animator's character design that they're able to make so many distinctive characters based on real-world animals. There's a new crop of characters, like a pair of hippocops, complete with piercings and tattoos, and a couple of zebras. There's the influential Lynxley family, a family of lynxes who are descended from the lynx who first created the weather walls. While most of the family is arrogant and proud, the black sheep of the family, Paubert, stands out as an ally to Judy in her investigation. Also helping out Nick and Judy is Nibbles Maplestick, a beaver who might just be a little too invested in conspiracy theories, but still offers delightful comedic relief to the cast. But, by far, the best new character to grace the screen is Gary the Snake. A little anxious, very friendly, and ever the optimist, Gary brings light to every scene that he's in, especially as Nick and Judy butt heads throughout the film while struggling with their partnership. Huy Quan's voice performance bleeds through to his character, offering a warm and friendly timbre to an animal most people fear. The character design of Gary as a blue pit viper makes him instantly memorable, and his personality offers the perfect foil to the leading characters.
The Disney sequel offers a bigger splash with a larger world and more music.
It's never been clearer to me than after watching Zootopia how much I simply want to live in Zootopia. Disney expands the world beyond the reaches of the first film, introducing a new land and an intriguing backstory to the origins of the city. The movie plays into the quirks of the world, combining real-world jokes with animal puns, which is sure to entertain adult viewers as they make their way through the 108-minute movie. Dad jokes and hilarious callbacks give the movie layers and rewatchability, while the new music and soundtrack offer an extra boost to the presence of the world. When jumping back into Zootopia, it's difficult to look at it with anything but wonder, as every detail feels specifically crafted for the movie. It's one of the aspects that sets animation apart from live action. It's able to give us these fantastical worlds while also grounding them in a way that makes them feel intrinsically relatable. Shakira's Gazelle is back with another big performance, this time in the Zootopia equivalent of Burning Man, while the legendary Michael Giacchino takes on composing for the sequel. Giacchino's presence is immediately felt in the sweeping soundtrack that sets the tone perfectly, and it's a significant step up from his work on the original film. Story-wise, you might find yourself stumbling a little when jumping back into the world if you haven't rewatched Zootopia recently. The film does a bit of a recap at the beginning, but a refresher on Judy and Nick's dynamic will definitely help. For adults, Zootopia 2 offers the same funny puns and references as the first movie, complete with a former movie actor turned mayor stallion named Brian Winddancer, and the return of Vito Corleone, aka Mr. Big. For kids, it's a colorful and delightful movie that delivers both thrills and heart. A fantastic follow-up to the original, Zootopia 2 swoops in right at the perfect time for the holidays as a perfect family movie to enjoy. Zootopia 2 premieres in theaters on November 26th.